Five Nights at Freddy's is very confusing. Specifically, the modern Five Nights at Freddy's games, so from Help Wanted onward, I find to be very confusing and very difficult to follow. So I wrote down a list of a couple things that confuse me, so now I kind of want to talk about it because I'm working on 2 hours of sleep here and I need to keep myself awake. Now, just because I'm confused about modern Five Nights at Freddy's doesn't mean I don't like modern Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, look, I love Security Breach. But first off, are the books canon? What's crazy is that if I ask that question, I get two completely different answers. Either yes, the books are canon, or no, they're not canon. So which is it? Now, obviously, I know that the Silver Eyes trilogy is not canon. It's pretty obvious it's not. But is Fazbear Frights canon? Is Tales of the Pizzaplex canon? Are those interactive books, which are really cool, by the way, are those canon? I don't know. And guess what? Scott Cawthon isn't gonna fucking tell us, because he's too busy about, oh, I'm not gonna tell them, they have to figure it out on their own. Fuck you, Scott Cawthon. Are the books canon? And if Fazbear Frights is canon, that means that in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe, Matt Pat birthed Springtrap. What the fuck? And then there's also fucking Fazgoo. I don't want Fazbear Frights to be canon. And then Tales of the Pizzaplex, right? Those I think are more likely to be canon, especially since they talk about the Mimic a lot. Like, that's where the Mimic was introduced. That's right, the new main antagonist of the Five Nights at Freddy's series was introduced in a fucking Goosebumps book. Like, what the fuck? You would think they would want the main antagonist to be introduced in the fucking games, the thing that people actively watch, because none of you guys play the games. I don't know if the books are canon, but I like to think they're not. It helps me keep my sanity because there's too much stupid shit in the books. I like to think they're little side stories outside of Five Nights at Freddy's that gives you a little bit of information on what's going on in the mainline games. That's my little prediction. Is it accurate? I don't know. And honestly, I don't really care. Next up, what is the story? Like, obviously the story is about the Mimic, but if you follow the games as they go on, there's just a lot of weird, confusing things that happen. The first 6 games in Ultimate Custom Night follow the story of William Afton and Springtrap, right? Springtrap's the big bad. He killed all those kids. Sucks for the kids. And then his story ended with Ultimate Custom Night, where he's forever tormented by the kids he killed. Satisfying ending. So you think they moved on from Springtrap. But then in Help Wanted, we're introduced to Glitchtrap. And honestly, at first he was very confusing, because who the fuck's Glitchtrap? Like, I remember the main theory about Glitchtrap was that he was William Afton's soul trapped inside the fucking video game. Obviously, we know now that that's maybe the Mimic. Probably. I don't know, because we have no confirmation. Maybe in the fucking Tales of the Pizzaplex books they say this shit. I don't fucking know. As I was editing this, I just remembered that there is a Glitchtrap skin for Springtrap in Dead by Daylight, which makes this even more confusing. By that logic, that means that Glitchtrap is Springtrap. But then, is it not Springtrap? Is it the Mimic? I don't fucking know. Then we follow on to Security Breach, right? Where there's something going on deep in the Pizzaplex. And Security Breach is just, it's the most confusing thing for me. I love Security Breach. Why the fuck did they build the Pizzaplex on top of a sinkhole? The sinkhole where the Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator location is. Why did they build it on top of a sinkhole? I feel like you shouldn't do that, right? That's gotta break, like, plenty of violation. What? And then on top of that, they moved the fucking, like, power station to charge the animatronics down to where the corpse of Springtrap is. And that's another thing. Is the Burn Trap ending canon? Like, that's the only one that has like a nice fancy animated cutscene at the end. A lot of people say it's not canon, and honestly for a little bit I was saying, well, no, technically this is canon. But the more I think about it, the more it doesn't make sense. We don't have a clear answer of which Security Breach ending is canon. If we go off of Ruin, it's either the Princess Quest ending or the Burn Trap ending. And now you're probably wondering, well, wait a minute, no, that doesn't make sense. The Burn Trap ending? No, there's a drawing of the Burn Trap ending, which means it's not canon. The fucking Blob is in Ruin. Like, you literally see the Blob. The Blob is there, which means if the Blob is there, that means that Gregory saw the Blob, which means he saw Burn Trap. So does that mean that Burn Trap is canon, or is it not canon? I don't know. But then you could say that, oh, well, Burn Trap's the Mimic. Where the fuck did that come from? Since when did Burn Trap become the Mimic? And where is the corpse in Ruin? Where's the Burn Trap costume in Ruin? Right, that would solve so many issues. I wouldn't be so confused if we at least saw Burn Trap in Ruin. But instead we saw the Mimic sealed behind a concrete wall below where the final battle of Security Breach happened, which means that Burn Trap can't be the Mimic, because sometime between Security Breach and Ruin, they took off the costume of Burn Trap and then sealed the Mimic away. It's so confusing. It's so fucking confusing. Which leads me to another thing. If Burn Trap's in Security Breach, Does that mean the Aftons are still important to the story? Because you would think after Ultimate Custom Night, they would move away from the Aftons. The story's done. But then there's so many different things relating to the Aftons in Security Breach. So are the Aftons important or are they not important? Because MatPat theorized that Fazbear Entertainment is now owned by the wife of William Afton, and she's trying to bring back her family. Stupid ass fucking theory. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking when he made that theory. But are they still important? Because if they're trying to make the Mimic the new main antagonist, why are we focusing so much on the last antagonist that's dead? He's done. He's in fucking Dead by Daylight killing people right now. He's got his happy ending. Focus on the Mimic, which I mean they are with Secrets of the Mimic, but still, why is William Afton still mentioned in these fucking games? His story's done. It's confusing. It really is confusing. Now, I could be just a fucking idiot, right? And just not paying attention at all, which fair enough, right? I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? I own a Roxanne Wolf body pillow. I don't fucking know what I'm doing. But it's just, those are just a couple questions that come off the top of my head whenever I think about this fucking series. Like, I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I love this series, but it's so fucking confusing now. And you would think they would make it at least a little bit easier to follow, because now they have a big fancy studio working on these games. They're making them bigger, better, fancier. You would think they would make the story a little bit easier to follow, but I think they're too busy trying to focus on the story of the previous series of games. So they're trying to solve answers from the previous series of games while also trying to move the series forward. And that is not the proper way to do that shit. That story's done. There's a couple of unanswered questions, but that's the beauty of the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. You got small pieces to the puzzle and you're trying to figure out how it goes together. But nowadays it feels like they're just throwing random junk at you and it's like, okay, figure out where this is in the timeline. Because now I'm seeing people say that the Mimic is the footprints we see in Midnight Motorist. Sure, why not? Midnight Motorist, it's probably never going to be solved, right? Realistically, Scott Cawthon probably forgot what the meaning of that is. Like how he forgot the meaning of the fucking box from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. He probably forgot that shit. So you know what? Fuck it. Let's make that the Mimic. And you know what? The box from Five Nights at Freddy's 4? Some things are best left forgotten. I'm gonna say that's the Mimic too. Okay, it answers two questions from the original series that, I'll be honest, I kind of forgot about. I like Five Nights at Freddy's. Anyway, if you are more of a lore expert than me, and if you can answer any of the questions I have in this video, please let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate it. That's the end of this video. I just wanted to yap about this stuff.